Welcome to From the Mind of Christine McConnell. So, obviously you've already seen the finished room, but now it's time to show you how I did these floral arrangements. I have done a live stream of floral arranging once before, but now I kind of have a chance to get kind of a little bit more into the details of it, and I personally really like putting these things together. I've been looking at that last arrangement for the last 6 months, and I feel like I went a little overkill on the number of flowers in there. And I think I want to go a little more botanical on this arrangement. Now, obviously I have a variety of vases here, and I'm trying to pull kind of some inspiration from the wallpaper behind me and just kind of make the room tie all together. So that's what we're going to be tackling right now. With a natural floral arrangement, you usually use water at the base, and so that kind of balances out the weight. And with an artificial arrangement, you don't really have that advantage. So I always fill my vases in with pebbles at the bottom, and that just kind of weights them down and prevents any worries about them toppling over. They sell two types of crafting foam for floral arrangements at the craft stores. And one is very rigid and stiff, and the other is very pliable and soft. And if you push your finger against it, it will start to indent. That's the one you want. It is so much easier to work with. And so what I do is just slice it into a bunch of slivers and then work it very slowly into the vase. And that kind of just completely fills up the cavity. So many of these artificial plants come with really, really thick bases, and we're going to be putting a whole lot in these vases, and you don't want them being filled up immediately. So I like to take an X-Acto blade and just cut away as much of that bulk as possible. To make these arrangements look as organic and natural as possible, I'm using a variety of different plants that are kind of in the same shade range. If you add too much contrast, let's say like a super saturated green, it just tends to look a little more artificial, and that's kind of what I'm trying to avoid. Another really great bonus of carving away the bases of these stems is it enables you to very easily pull these bundles apart. And then when you are making your arrangement, it just tends to look more delicate and not so clustered. These really romantic looking hanging bits are actually artificial maiden-haired ferns, and they are so beautiful, but you want to make sure that you're keeping the top side visible and not really exposing the underside, as it tends to look a little more fake. I am such a huge fan of artificial floral arrangements for a number of reasons. Mainly it's the cost. How much you would spend trying to have a fresh arrangement year round would really rack up quickly. These, you pay for them one time. They look beautiful all year round. They make you happy. And then if you have a big event where you want a fresh arrangement, you can always just have that brought in. Once you've got some of the main pieces in place, don't be afraid to go in and prune out any bulky spots. often find that I have to go to multiple craft stores to find all of the floral pieces that I need, just because everybody carries something different, and I always bring a color swatch with me just to ensure that everything is sort of going to pull together in the end. So I'm fighting my personal nature here to to not overdo it. So I'm only going to be putting in a few flowers just because I want them to sort of flow more naturally. I've been looking at tons of arrangements since I did that last one, and I just feel like they tend to look a little more natural if you don't overdo it. Okay, this is the last one I'm adding, I promise. Many craft stores carry these small little pre-made bundles. They're kind of just clusters of multiple types of leaves, and it cuts out a lot of trouble when you're putting together a lot of these smaller arrangements. Virtually all artificial plants have wire bases that you have to bend and sort of form into the shapes that you want to achieve. So whenever you buy them at the store, you just kind of need to know that you're going to have to bring them home and will them into the silhouettes that you want to create. I'm not a huge fan of large flowers in tiny little vases, so for my smaller vases, I'm going with a theme that's a little kind of more alien and has a lot more succulents featured. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for one more March episode.